10 of the Grossest Sex Acts. The Kentucky Klondike Bar. This is the act of freezing a bowel movement and sexually penetrating another with the frozen bowel movement. This one gets a grossness rating of 3 out of 5 poops. The Panamanian petting zoo. When one forces one's partner to pick the nuts and corn out of a bowel movement, the partner then presents the nuts and corn in a cup or dish. One then tosses the nuts and corn onto the bed where the partner eats them like a goat or other typical petting zoo animal. Can be combined with the Kentucky Klondike Bar. This one deserves a grossness rating of 5 out of 5 poops. The Alabama Hot Pocket. The Alabama Hot Pocket is the art of separating the vagina lips and taking a shot inside and possibly having sex with it afterwards. This one gets a grossness rating of 5 out of 5 poops. The Flying Camel. As your gal is lying on her back and you are hammering her from your knees, you very carefully move forward and prop yourself without using your arms on your penis while it is still inserted in her vagina. You then proceed to flap your arms and let out a long shrinking howl much like a flying camel. Strictly a class move. It even has a sentence. Hey John, you should never attempt a flying camel at home because yes, you can break your penis and insurance rates are at an all-time high right now. Too bad we don't live in Canada. We are gonna give this a grossness rating of 3 out of 5 poops. The Cold Lunch. This is just a simple sexual act of forcing yourself to throw up into another person's mouth, usually in the result of the other person eating it. We are gonna give this a grossness rating of 7 out of 5 poops just because of the vomit. Charizarding. This is when you light a girl's pubes on fire and put it out with your jizz, then flap your arms and say, you don't have enough badges to train me. This is a new take on an old favorite, the Flaming Amazon. We are going to give this a grossness rating of 1 out of 5 poops. While this act is still amusing, this is highly improbable. First, you would need to guarantee that you were able to produce enough semen to put out a small fire, and second, you would need to have excellent hand-eye coordination to complete all the steps. No one is actually doing this. No one. Trust me. The Kennebunkport Surprise. Secretly and sneakily, the male fills his mouth to near bursting with New England clam chowder. Then while performing cunnilingus on a woman, he simultaneously punches both of his cheeks, thus blowing the clam chowder of the woman's vagina. We are going to give this a grossness rating of 5 out of 5 poops. The Land Shark. This involves the woman bracing herself facing a wall naked, hands against the wall, legs spread, bent over so that her ass is lusciously jutting out. Next, the guy, also naked as well as stiff cock, walks to the opposite end of the room, places his palms together and raises them above his head and begins chanting the theme to Jaws. When given some predetermined signal, the guy sprints toward the girl at full speed with his pelvis out, fin protruding, and rams her dead square in the ass. We are going to give this a grossness rating of 2 out of 5 poops, mainly because it is more dangerous than gross, but I totally would believe that people have done this. I would admit I would do this when I was like 18 or something. The Balkoozie. This is where you place your nuts in a bowl of warm water, then have a girl put a straw into the bowl and blow bubbles around your balls. Rubber ducky is optional, of course. We are going to give this a grossness rating of 2 out of 5 poops. It's doable, but a little uninspired. And last but not least, munging. This is the one thing that is worse than genocide. One must first have no shame, then he or she must use a newspaper to find the arbitrary of a recently deceased man or woman, then find a buddy with no shame who will aid them in this act. Partners then go to the cemetery where they dig up their victim and flip a coin. The loser or winner, depending on how sick you are, applies his or her lips to the genitals or anus of the corpse, while the other partner proceeds to climb the nearest tombstone and elbow drop the corpse's stomach, thus forcing out a blend of rich bodily fluids and embalming materials onto the partners. This blend is called munge. The act of getting this blend on your face is called munging. Chicks will dig this one. We are going to give this a grossness rating of 173 out of 5 poops, but at least no one's actually doing this, right? Right? I'll see myself out. Alright guys, this is your host 1010. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you would like to see more, please do subscribe and leave a like on this video. It helps very much. Thank you and see you next time.